Good morning, everybody. It's Lynn, the Leather Bag Lady. How are you all today? It is Thursday morning, 25 past 9, or 25 after 9, as they say here in Canada, North America, 25 past 9 in the UK. There you go. There's your history piece for today. So, it's 25 after 9, as I've said. I've been to the gym. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos. I've contemplated life. I've stitched a bag. And I've listed today's purse. I've been up since 5:30. I am just not sleeping very well these days. I don't know whether it's because of our upcoming trip or I'm getting just so excited about some of the different things I want to start doing. But you know me. How many years have I been saying this, that, and the other? But this is some stuff that I really would love to actually do. We'll talk about it after. So today's bag is a bit of a daily driver, but it is from a company, a Canadian maker that I really, really enjoy showing you. So if you follow me regularly, you're probably going to be able to guess who this is. This is Karnig Mann. This is a Canadian maker of bags who had a European start in life. I can't remember exactly where in Europe he was from, but emigrated to Canada and brought his trade with him. He makes, or made, the company is no longer in existence. I do believe it was 2007 or 2017 they closed their doors. They're from Kitchener, Ontario, which is it's a Mennonite community mostly, or parts of it are, and it's just quality stuff. The craftsmanship in that area of Ontario is furniture, leatherwork, real kind of trade industry kind of thing. So this is no different. I love his bags because of their simple styling and the quality. So this bag has little knotted shoulder strap. I do believe it's a 17-inch shoulder strap. There's a little bit of ruching on the front. It's just a piece of leather that they've added. This company is very good for that. The bag is very simple, but there will be just a little something that makes it stand out. There isn't a dedicated gusset, but there are seams which, once your items are in there, will create a gusset. Now, I'm actually, how do I say this? I just looked after a bag. Where did I put it? Okay, here. So I redid the corners in this bag. This is a KGB bag, so this will be listed soon. Just needed a little bit of work on the corners. Now, when you have a dedicated gusset like this, there's usually a material, a piece of plastic or a piece of card or something that they will sit along the bottom. Now, if that curls or changes its shape, this one has a little bit, but not bad at all. You can see it. So, yeah, this one's really not that bad. But when you hanging it back on the elliptical, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 11 purses hanging on the arms of my elliptical, or Pius's elliptical, our elliptical now. And they're all drying or getting ready to be put on the shelf because they've already been looked after. It just never ends. So when you have a gusset or a setup like this, there's no piece of material to warp or change its shape. So it actually probably is a better way to do it. You will, as I said, get that dedicated space once you put your items in it. I don't see much of this monogrammed lining from him. It's I've dated this bag as a 70s, and this kind of velvet interior screams that. There's his label, Karnig Man. Very fancy script. It's kind of hard to read. Karnig Man, made in Canada. So these bags are actually made in Canada, not just a Canadian company made in China or made, these are great Canadian content. Beautiful, beautiful quality, and just a great bag. I like the loop system here, and just a really, really nice, simple daily driver bag. And it has just the one zipper compartment here. No phone pouches, obviously, in a bag from the 70s, but it's super, super clean. It's just a great bag. So there we go. That is today's listing. So I've been fixing bags this morning. I'm really surprised. This is the first time I've ever had to fix a Derrick Alexander. I've got the light on in the kitchen. It is really dark. Leather Bag Lady weather report. The weather sucks. It is supposed to rain again today, but it was supposed to be quite sunny this morning. That has not happened. It's cold and damp and yeah, not good. So as I was saying, I've had to stitch this little bag right here. This is where the tear has happened, but I have just kind of moved it over a little bit and stitched it so it's back in place. But I've never had to repair a Derrick Alexander bag before. The quality of his bags are absolutely incredible. I think this bag has been messed with a little bit. The stitching that is here is actually visible from the interior, which doesn't happen. You can see the stitching. So I think they've messed around with it. But that's just an example of what I've been up to already this morning. This is not a vintage bag. Oh, it's so here. I love that noise. It's so soft, but that's one of my projects already this morning. What is that big blue thing? Oh, it's a tote. We've moved the tote. What is that blue thing in the back? We've moved the totes over. They are destined for the shed, which I actually could put them in the shed now because Pius took the bike to my parents last night. We made that decision that the bike is not coming with us to Nova Scotia. It's just too cold. And we took the bike to my parents to put it in their shed. And some of the stuff that is very, very cumbersome in the shed is now gone. So one of those totes has got our winter duvet and quilt and stuff in it. And what else did I put in there? I put something else in there too. And then the tote below is all shoes, some of which I'm going to put on Marketplace, some of which are mine. I've got so many pairs of shoes from when I had the store in St. George. Some of them are going to be damaged because I've had them for so long and they've been heated and cooled in the shed space. Excuse me. So it has compromised the dexterity of the soles, and especially if they were rubber, they've dried out. So I will be brutally testing all the shoes that I do want to list. I'm trying to figure out, I am historically a long tail seller, so I don't care if things sit on my Marketplace or my Etsy or my .com for years. I don't care. There is a buyer. If it's not on there, it can't be sold. So space is starting to become an issue. So I may, especially for stuff that I'm not even listing online, but I am going to list some of the vintage clothing that I have on Etsy. Why not? So when we get back from our trip, I've got a couple of trench coats, 80s trench coats. I've got a purple leather jacket with fringes on it. I've got some leather pairs of pants that are this big. bought when my daughter was modeling. So I've got some really cool stuff, and I was going to sell it in a lot to a young lady that came and picked up some boots from me. But yeah, I don't know. I think I might try and sell it myself. It's just starting to get very difficult to live in this space. We were talking about it last night, or I was trying to talk about it last night. Mr. Pius was so exhausted, he was falling asleep on me. But I just want to, I say I don't mind the chaos. The chaos is something that is around me. It affects me, absolutely. But I don't, like, I don't even see it anymore, which is probably not a good thing. So we've been kind of chatting about what it is we want moving forward. We definitely need a workspace for Pius, who is going to be doing some woodworking, and not even just down the road as a little side hustle, but we've got a van to build out. I think Pius is looking at an enclosed trailer to put the bike in, but the one he's looking at is quite a bit bigger than we were going to purchase, but such a good deal came up, and he said, I can put shelving in the front or the back for you. Probably the front, because the bike will be at the back and it'll be way easier to get it out at the back. But it has I don't know actually. Where would he rather have the bike? In the back makes sense to me. I'll have to ask him. I don't know. But if he builds shelving in there for me when we go and do events or bike shows or whatever, then all my purses could be in there. Plus, it was another option to empty out the storage unit that I have that was only supposed to be for 3 months and has now been a year and a half. Pius said if he won the lottery, that's what he would do. He would open up a couple of storage facilities, because storage facilities in the 21st century are the bottled water of the 20th century. I mean, I guess I don't know. Why did we start drinking bottled water? Was it the Waco or the Love Canal, or what was the one where the water was poisoned in Michigan? I think it was the Love Canal. And it's still an issue. The mega country the US is, and they've still got a part of their own country where the water is not drinkable. So I believe that's still the case. I guess I shouldn't be saying things I don't know for sure. But yeah, it's just all kind of coming to a head where we drove past the house that Pius rented that we just moved out of in March. And we thought for sure we would see somebody in it, but it had a for sale sign on the lawn and a big sold sticker. And I guess it was a lovely house. It was a solid house, but original windows, original kitchen, original kind of basement, except for that one room that I did a few videos in, which was a lovely big room. It needed a good $100,000 spending on it. My dad, God bless him, we were having dinner with my parents last night, and my mom had pretty well spent $100,000 on the house that they just purchased. So when I said $100,000, my dad just rolled his eyes, and I kind of rubbed his back. He was sitting beside me, and I said, yes, much like your $100,000, Dad. And he just shook his head. As I'm about to have a hot flash, where's my little fan? I told you about it yesterday, but I'm going to show you it today. So here it is. This little fan is fantastic. Oh, wrong end. Oh, I've used it a few times, but oh my goodness me. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh my goodness. And that's where the foam is that you wet and put in the freezer. And then I guess, Pius, he's such a wonderful man. He went out and bought that for me. Oh, it's got a little thing that you can sit it up. Oh. So, we leave tomorrow. I'm sure this noise is probably bugging you, but give me another minute or two. We leave tomorrow for our trip to the East Coast. The suitcase is open on the floor right here. And my job today is to start putting stuff in it. So, I think most of the laundry's done. And we're just trying to decide, because we don't know what the weather's going to be like. I'll turn this off. We don't know what the weather's going to be like. 15, 16 degrees most days, but it's going to get quite cool in the evening. So I went and picked up a couple more pairs of yoga pants at Value Village the other day because this fat ass doesn't fit into most of what I wore last summer. Now, thank goodness it's not tropical weather, because I'd be really upset that some of the really cute clothes I wore when we were in Mexico in November no longer fit my ass. But what am I going to do? I mean, we are not drinking. We have had a few little pieces of chocolate in the last week, but I had no chocolate for a month. I don't know what I'm doing. It's menopause, or as Pius tells me, and as I have researched, stress is a big, because it's all in the front. Like, my tummy is way bigger than the rest of me. So that is a menopausal issue, and the hot flashes are starting to get bad again. So I don't know. It just freaking sucks. And I wanted to take some of the cute dresses that I had even in July last year when we went to Cape Breton. But it's not that kind of weather. So I was walking to the gym this morning thinking, okay, what can I take? And I'll be able to take my Harley sweater and sweatshirt. Of course, some hoodies, maybe a nice pair of pants, because we may go out. I don't know. We're just doing what we're doing. We're all booked up for a weekend at a campsite on Canada Day long weekend, just so that we can have a vacation from our vacation, I think. So anyway, it's all go, go, go today. I think we're going to look at this trailer this evening. I am going to be making dinner because we're going to be, well, I guess we're staying at Blair and Karen, so we'll be eating at home quite a bit too. But anyway, it is what it is. We're taking the trip one day at a time. And without the bike, I will be able to share some of the driving. We had the bike on the back of the truck last night, and I was just so nervous about it. And Pius is like, get over it. He's like, I have 30 tons of flour, 38 tons of flour, plus whatever the weight of the tanker is that it's in. So he doesn't care, but I don't know. I'm getting to be a chicken shit as I'm getting older, I think. My mom says that you lose your courage as you get older. I don't like it, because I've always usually been, do it now, think about it later. But I guess maybe I've learned my lessons over the years, and I'm a bit scared to be like that. But anyway, we are intending to thrift as we go. I didn't do any thrifting last year when I went, but I already have my Value Villages. Actually, I have them already listed, because many years ago, as I've already shared with you, I had plans to do the whole East Coast in a van. So I have all the East Coast Value Villages, Good Life gyms, and retirement homes, because that's what I was going to be doing with my life. But now I have this fabulous man in my life. We're going to do a little bit of it because he enjoys it, actually. He's really good. He's a good belt finder, which leads me to what I was alluding to at the beginning of this video. I have decided that I'm going to try and create not only my tassels, but some purse straps. Bespoke, handmade. I love that word, bespoke. It's a UK word for custom. And I'm just researching a little bit how I can use the leather scraps that I've had for years. How I can use different materials, vintage materials, to create these beautiful straps. I mean, even this Karnig Mann bag. I mean, if you wanted to attach a much longer strap, because, well, you could get this crossbody, but it's high. But if you wanted to put a longer strap on it, you could. And that's kind of where this has all come from, because a lot of the vintage bags don't come with straps long enough to be crossbody. But I feel that many of them could be repurposed or restyled to include a crossbody strap. So I would like to have a section of straps that there probably won't be many of them because I have time, but I just don't have the space and the creative space to make them. But I don't know, maybe I'll think about that while we're away. But I mean, Pius is a very creative person, but in a more technical way. And I am creative. I used to be very creative before I had kids. They sucked the creativity out of me. God bless them. Um, but I do see my purses as little pieces of art. And I said to Pius, I said, I'd like to choose a purse a week and just let it speak to me. If it needs a tassel, I'll create one. If it needs a strap, I'll create one. If it needs both, I'll create that. And that would be just a different way of presenting you the bags. I have reconnected with yet another YouTuber. The Costume Jeweler is his name. And he is quite funny because I have been selling purses for 9 years. I have learned my lesson in terms of brands that sell, that don't sell. This gentleman, I think from the sounds of it, is very new to the purse game. And his pronunciation of some of the brands is hilarious. The Etienne Agnier, oh my goodness me, God bless him. I hats out to him. He is picking up bags left, right, and center, and some of the styles are so god awful ugly. But hey, he's a man and he's doing his thing. But anyway, everybody, hopefully I will speak to you briefly tomorrow before we go, tomorrow afternoon. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. Bye.